Oil was discovered in Uganda before in 1920s, but it was not until 2006 that commercially viable quantities were discovered in the Lake Albert Basin. The government and international oil corporations, China's CNOOC and Total of France, are in the process of extracting and refining one of the most sought-after products in the world, dubbed the black gold. It is projected that Uganda might earn over $50 billion in oil alone in the next few decades. In light of the current presidential election campaigns, and in a bid to find out what the people of Uganda want the next president to do to maximize proceeds from the petroleum and mining sector, Action Aid International Uganda, Oxfam Uganda and other stakeholders in partnership with other institutions conducted a research dubbed the Citizens Manifesto on mining and petroleum.
Citizens want a proper way of verifying recoverable costs, and there should be some transparency and enough oversight.
Reinforcing specific jobs that both communities can directly engage in. For example, like welding, we completely do not see why we should have a foreigner doing welding. These people can be trained, and it should be done in a transparent way, a manner to make sure that it is specific to how many people are actually getting trained and how many people are accessing the job.
The study indicates that many of the people interviewed, including those living in the areas hosting the oil wells and mineral deposits, do not know much about the details of agreements the government signed with international companies. The citizens also asked that politicians should not interfere with the petroleum and mining deals.
The members of parliaments put pressure on the regulators to award them these licenses. And these are their bosses, because quite often they have to go and answer in parliament. So it's a conflict of interest to have politicians who are supposed to be regulating the exploitation of these resources also participating in undermining.
About 5 years ago, President Museveni issued a decree scrapping the 5% royalties paid by mining companies, effectively meaning that mining companies can extract minerals without paying royalties, meant to benefit the mining communities. These companies would only pay taxes.
What this has meant is that all resources are being mined and exported out of Uganda without the central government getting the 80%, without the local governments getting the 10%, without the sub-counties getting the 7%, and without the ordinary landowner retaining his 3%.
The people also asked the government to put away bridges in different areas to weigh the minerals before transportation.
If you look at how much, for example, Tororo Cement mines from Moroto, and how much the Moroto or Karamoja districts, where limestone is mined from, is getting in terms of royalties, you will be amazed.
An estimated 2 million Ugandans are engaged in mining, which is about 4% of the entire population. However, artisanal miners want to be considered separately.
We still have a number of miners who are using chemicals like mercury, chemicals like cyanide. These ones are very dangerous to their bodies.
And also decentralizing some of the powers, like for example licensing, powers of monitoring, regulating the artisanal and small-scale miners, that subsector at district level.
The citizens want the next president of Uganda to ensure that the minerals sector is free from political interference, accountable, just, sustainable, and also all-inclusive. This is because once oil poorly handled, which is a blessing, it can turn into a curse. Sudhir Bijaruhanga, NTV.